people who understand your needs and are committed to helping you make it happen. At DKP & Co Chartered Accountants, we are more than just accountants. We are business advisors, taxation consultants, and strategists that specialise in setting up businesses. We understand the client and give them the very best customised advice and strategies to achieve their goals. Visit our website dkpco.com.au or give us a call today on 03 9023 9370. Fast, proactive, personal. That's DKP & Co Chartered Accountants.
Buying your electricity from the big energy companies is now the most expensive way to power your home. In fact, the average electricity bill in Australia has more than doubled in the last 15 years, but not for the ones who went solar. Unlike your electricity bill, the price of solar has actually come down, and there's also government rebates available. So what are you waiting for? Join the 2 million households already saving hundreds of dollars every year. See how much your roof could be making you at solarpowerco.com.au. Go solar and get $500 cash back with the Solar Power Co, Australia's most trusted solar brand. solarpowerco.com.au.
Since 1998, Lanco Group has been providing superior civil engineering solutions and advice to developers, local government and service authorities across Australia. Lanco Group is known for delivering sustainable, efficient solutions. By working closely with clients, Lanco Group is able to meet the complex infrastructure requirements for residential, commercial and industrial developments on time, on budget. Find out more at lancogroup.com.au. Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions.
You're listening to the State of Our Football Nation on FNR.
Well, here we go. We're in Zoom mode again on FNR, State of Our Football Nation. Josh Parrish, George Denikin, and our very special guest via Zoom. What do you know? It's JH, John Aloisi, live from, where are you, John?
Yeah, I'm in hotel quarantine in Brisbane. It's day 9. You know what? It hasn't been easy. I will say that it's not great not having fresh air and just breathing in the air conditioning, but I've been busy at work. I haven't really left this chair. I've been in front of my computer the whole time, working hard, trying to get the team prepared, get pre-season prepared, and I can't wait to get to Melbourne now.
I was going to ask, John, I was going to ask if you were in hotel quarantine, but I didn't want to make a faux pas in case that was your taste in interior decorating. But look, I think a lot of our listeners based down here in Melbourne very much sympathise with this shut-in.
Yeah, this is the lockdown capital of Australia, Victoria. Let's talk about your new job. You're the new head honcho, the new manager, the new coach, head coach at Western United. Tremendous challenge in front of you, wonderful opportunity to grow this new A-League entity, this new club to the next level. And I've noticed you've gone and done some smart things. One, you've kept the core of the back room where they deserve to be. Talk to us about that. And you've gone to one of the regulars, one of your greats, and you brought him back into the fold to wear a new blazer or a new jumper.
Yeah, I have. Look, it's important to keep the core people that have been there from the beginning at the club. They understand the actual culture of the club, the values that the club have tried to install. That they've set the foundation. You know, now it's up to us to keep on growing that and building on that. And so, you know, I'm excited to work with, you know, the likes of John Anastasiadis, Frankie Juric, you know, who have been there, and you've still got Mas Madoka, and, you know, you've got Andrew Rondinelli, the sports and conditioning. We also got Mal, who's moved in, you know, just recently last season, and I'm looking forward to working with everyone at the club. That's important. It's not only the football department, but all the staff and you know, backroom people, and you know, because they're as important, if not more important, than the faces that everyone sees day to day. And then the players, you know, there's still quite a few players there that have been there for a while, and young boys that are coming through, which is exciting for the club, for the area. And also, we will sign new players. We've already made one signing in Ben Garucho. And as you just touched on, I've brought Hayden Fox with me. He's worked with Hayden, of course, at Melbourne Heart. He went off and worked with Wanderers, Perth Glory in the time that I spent at Brisbane, and he will come back together, both with a lot more experience, both with a lot more knowledge, and both evolving as people and as coaches. So it's exciting to be back working together with him as well.
John, we're thrilled to hear that that's the journey that you've started on, because for us, especially Josh and I, we've been watching some of these youngsters who the club has introduced, people that I remember from Melbourne City, young Dylan Pierrias, Lockie Wales, of course, who came from the Central Coast Mariners, and we saw him develop at City, and now he's taken the journey, and we can see, and not, like players, coaches too, every time they take on a new role, they mature. They've learned a bit, they've dropped a bit of baggage and picked up some other stuff. And of course, these two names that I mentioned, by the way, they'll be part of the team that we watch tonight when the Olyroos take on Argentina at the Olympics. Will you be glued to the set?
Yeah, of course. I can't wait. I'm going to order a pizza in and prepare for the game. It's exciting because I want to see obviously those two boys, especially, and the Olyroos. They've got a tough task. Yes, their group with Spain, Egypt, and Argentina is a tough one. But if they get through that group, which you can never underestimate us Aussies, if they get through that group, they've got a hell of a chance of winning a medal. Believe me. But I'm looking forward to seeing Wales and Pierrias. They've got pace, and I love that about those players, and that's exciting for me because the way that I want my football to be played, if that pace will hurt the opposition, and so looking forward to seeing how they go tonight.
Well, one of the headline acquisitions is another boy with pace, Dylan Wenzel-Halls. What do you think he needs to do to take the next step in his game? I mean, you were a striker. You've obviously watched a lot of him. What excites you about him, and what do you think he needs to be mentored on and improve on to really make that big leap?
Well, I brought Dylan in at Brisbane Roar when I was there. So I know Dylan very well as a person, as a player. He's still, like you said, he's learning the trade. I have to say, what I've seen of him in training and working closely with him, he can finish. He's a great finisher. He left, right foot. He only needs a bit of a sniff, and he's getting a shot in on goal. Such a powerful shot as well. He needs to, learn the other bits to his game, and where he runs sometimes. If he's running into position, to actually get a shot in and goal, or if he's linking up with other players around him. There's things that he will improve, and plus with players around him, with the likes of Diamante, that will help him as well. And once Dylan starts to get his confidence, Dylan is a player that will be hard to stop because he's definitely got goals. He's definitely got something about him that defenders don't like playing against, because he doesn't shy away from a challenge as well. So excited to work again with Dylan, and I know he's excited because he's already shown with the players in the first few days of training that he's ready.
John, you're one of the few Australians who's played in 3 of the biggest leagues in the world. You understand the challenges, the problems when you move from what is a comfort zone to a new place, and you have to find your feet again. You have to settle around and stretch your elbows and see how much of the dressing room understands who you are and whether they embrace you or not. How difficult is it going to be for all the youngsters? And will you get into their ear as the coach, as a senior coach, and to help them get through some of these early awkward steps that can be there for people who are learning the caper and coming to a new club and being asked to play a different role, perhaps?
Yeah, it's up to us coaches, plus the leadership group of the players and the players that have been there, to embrace the new players. And that's a culture that we'd like to set in place anyway, that, they feel part of it straight away. They feel part of the club. And when I set foot there, that they'll feel that, because I like to have an environment that players can feel comfortable. that they come to training, enjoy it, knowing they're going to learn and improve. Players are going to be upset when they don't start. I get that, but players that come and want to improve every day, that's the right environment to be in. And then, when they do get the opportunity, they'll be ready. So that's something that we have to drive, and that I'm sure the players will as well, in helping players that come from interstate or overseas settle in a lot quicker.
It must be a personal thrill for you to have the chance to work alongside and coach an Italian football legend like Alessandro Diamanti, surely.
Yeah, look, it's exciting to coach any talented player. That he's Italian helps a little bit more because, obviously my Italian background. It's, I've spoken to Diamanti. His English is good, but I said to him, if he actually struggles at all, just to speak to me in Italian, because I understand, pretty well. The Italian's good, except when I speak, I actually, my Italian's not great. It comes out, the Spanish comes out. So that would also help with my conversations I have with Victor Sanchez, because my Spanish is a lot better than my Italian. So it's it's exciting to coach those players because they've played at such a high level. We see they've got the quality, and now it's up to us to help team perform with those players in there. And I'm excited to play, to coach those sort of talented players.
You may not have the fluency in the language that you wish, but you understand the cultures very well, don't you, John?
Yeah, that's important as well. Is understanding, how they grew up, where they grew up, the type of football they're used to playing, the type of people they are. And I have lived in Italy, of course, Italian parents, but also lived in Spain for 6 years. That does help. That's it's important that you make these players feel that you understand them, and and I do, because I understand where they come from. So that will help with helping them feel more comfortable within the team as well.
Speaking of the Italian national team, I mean, you've been watching them very closely in your role as a pundit at Optus, and Roberto Mancini.
Them, by the way.
Yeah,
he picked them, by the way.
Of course he did. It was a very good.
I got a lot of stick for that. I got a lot of stick. Yeah, a lot of people said, what's he talking about? This, how can they be the best Italian team that you've seen play? But you know what? I saw it early, but I actually saw it before the tournament. Not that I said that, I'm a genius and I know they're going to win. I just felt that they had a really good team. The way they were playing their football, the way Mancini got them to play, they bought into him, what he was trying to achieve. I watched them through their friendly games, through their qualifiers, and you sense they had something special. You need a bit of luck to win a tournament, and they had it on occasions. They had it a little bit against Austria in extra time. Against Spain, I thought they were very lucky because Spain were dominant.
Oh, yeah.
And then in the final, they won on penalties, but they were the better team. But sorry to interrupt you, Josh. I just got excited talking about the Euros again.
No, we had some confident Italians on staff as well.
You talked about Mancini. About Mancini. He's also transformed.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is what we're asking you. Your journey has been a tremendous one, John. One as a player, and two now as a coach, as a pundit, as a media expert. And it's very interesting listening to you, watching what you've done over the last half a dozen months. And again, some of the commentary throughout this Euros, which has been a standout event. Did you believe it was going to be embraced as well as it did?
You know what? I had a feeling as well, when the Optus put on that Football Belongs, I sensed that, again, that was something that people really enjoyed, enjoyed the, where, how our game sort of, where it came from, and where the different backgrounds and, the communities around Australia. We sort of lost that for a little bit. I remember, George, speaking to you about that a few years ago, that, why did we stop, being happy or being proud of where we come from, and I think they brought that back, and then you could see that the people started to get really excited about Euros beginning. But did I realize how big it was going to be? No, because it was huge. I was lucky enough to see the numbers on that Optus were giving us, and they were astounded how big they were, and how many people are following, how many people are engaging, not just the games, but just on social media and whatever else. But it also helped. The football was probably one of the best tournaments I've seen in terms of every game. There was only one bad game, and that was Slovakia, Sweden. And no disrespect to them, but they put on the worst game of the 51. But so when you got 50 good games, I think you're quite lucky.
I wanted to touch on that, what you were talking about there, George, about Mancini. I mean, he's someone who's kind of reinvented himself after a period on the outer. And, you know, it hasn't been that long for you since you were in the A-League as a manager, but these jobs are pretty hard to get. And you must have been wondering when your next opportunity was going to come, you know, 3 years down the line since you left Brisbane Roar. Is Mancini someone you take inspiration from, the way he's kind of reinvented himself and made this spectacular comeback to the top flight, the top stage of European football?
Yeah, look, you learn and you admire all those people that you know sort of evolve and reinvent themselves, you know, because you know their understanding of their environment, their understanding of the new you know generation of players coming through. I saw a little bit of Mancini that this was great, writing that you know the starting 11 on the whiteboard, and he put Spinazzola on there and then laughed, you know, like just to relax the group a little bit. And you know, you wouldn't have thought that of Mancini going back 10, 15 years ago. You know, he wouldn't have cracked the joke at all. So, yeah. So, you know, and just the way he was interacting with players on the pitch. You know, Mancini was very standoffish when he was at Manchester City. And so, yeah, you look at that and you feel, well, you know, you can evolve, you can, you know, grow, you learn from your experiences. He obviously has. He obviously, I think the fit was great. You know, it was the right time for Italy to get a Mancini, and it was the right time for Mancini to get Italy. So that
and you can see it on the players. They loved him.
Yeah.
And even some of those old hotheads.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm grateful to be playing.
Speaking of old hotheads, you've got a young guy I've known for a long time. His name is David Clarkson. Ex-South Melbourne, Brighton Hove Albion. He's another one who's had a tremendous soccer journey and a great apprenticeship, if you will. He's part of Western United too.
Yeah, he is, and plus he's a Tassie boy, so he helps us with the Tasmania sort of connection, which is very good. And I can't wait to sit down with Clarky because I haven't had a chance. I've been meaning to call him. He's probably getting upset that I haven't called him yet. But
he's on the show after you.
Okay, well, tell him that I'm sorry I haven't called.
When you're ordering the pizza, is it going to be with Hawaiian?
No.
Okay.
Exactly.
What's the Aloisi pizza order include?
Well, today it will be pizza salsiccia. It's with the sausage, the pork and fennel sausage. So
very good.
I'll make sure that. But normally it's pizza salami. I'm pretty simple. I don't like a lot of things on my pizza. But yeah, no, Clark he's also a great person, great football person, which is really important. And it's great to have those people involved with our football club.
You know, you've just touched on something special. We said to you, what are you going to bring to the club? And it's not only that experience and that journey of yours, but you're accumulating some tremendous characters. And as one of the things I've learned in sport over the last, 30, 40 years is quality people. Quality people, and I'm talking about first-class quality people, will always bring you quality results. And we saw yesterday in America, a young man do something quite extraordinary. His name is Giannis Antetokounmpo. They call him the Greek Freak. And in the small market of Milwaukee, against all the odds, when everyone said to him, "You'll never make it, kid," he became an NBA champion and just knocked over 50 points along the way. And he had not only the audience in the stadium spellbound, but he had about 50,000 or 20,000 people outside the stadium that wouldn't go home because they wanted to absorb the energy. Now, when you captivate an audience like that, what do you reckon your team's going to do on the pitch?
Yeah, exactly. And I liked his interview when he said he went for a tinkle. I don't know if anyone saw that. I don't know who got that slang word in during the first quarter of one of the games. But you know what? The character, but a loving person, if you know what I mean. People like can engage with him and a great player. And that's, if you can get those people involved in your football club, and look, we know the job we've got at hand. We want to be successful. The club is ambitious, but we also have to grow the club, and we have to get out into the community, and we have to really engage with the community of the west of Melbourne. So it's important for us that we do that, and we have the right people doing that. So that's I've always been a big believer that we've got. We're here to grow the game. It's our obligation to help grow the game. So and I don't even feel like it's work or it's an effort. It's something that we should be doing, and that we love it. We're passionate about it. Let's help out and take our passion out there as well.
And recently, Western United. Sorry, Josh.
We're custodians of the game.
Yes.
That's what you are. You've got it in your hands. Sorry, Josh.
I was going to ask about the NPL outfit that Western United have added this season. I've seen that squad play a few times in NPL 3, and they're absolutely smashing it, to be honest. A great group of players. Are those players that you'll be looking to integrate into the first team picture? I mean, obviously it's got to be gradual because they're a lot of very raw guys, but the likes of Adisu Bayo, Manny Agwek, I really like Ajak Dayu, the centre half. You got some talent to pick from in that squad.
Yeah, Adisu is someone that I was speaking to Diamante last night, and he said, you've got a player on your hands here. And, a lot of the young talented players, of course, will have an opportunity. They're already training with the first team. We have to be careful, of course, because we have to look after their loading and everything else. But, he's excited. So if someone like Diamante is excited about some of the young players coming through, how can I not be? And it's important that they will get opportunities, especially once we get this FFA Cup, game or games, up and going. There'll be players that will be getting an opportunity there. They'll be training with us on a regular basis through pre-season. And we're able to sign scholarship players. So, to keep hold of these young talented players, because in the past it was hard sometimes. You lose some of your young players because you couldn't keep hold of them. But I'm excited about seeing them closer up. I've only heard about them and seen bits of footage, but now to see them, firsthand and in training and then games is going to be good for me to see.
And the NPL has been... Sorry, George. The NPL has been... I just wanted to sneak in one more NPL question because I'm a massive nerd about the state leagues.
He's done a fabulous job with the NPL coverage over the last 2 or 3 years. So when he talks, we're listening.
Well, I mean, it's been a fruitful recruiting ground, the top flight of NPL Victoria for Western United, with Tom Uscock, who's off to Macarthur, of course, being a staple in the first team over last season, and then Ryan Scott really coming on leaps and bounds to be number one goalkeeper for going from bricky to professional keeper in the A-League is pretty spectacular ascent. So is that something that hopefully, well, if the season gets back underway, you'll be being out and about at NPL Victoria grounds scouting for those hidden gems?
Yeah, look, we've already got people that know a lot about the NPL, so we'll do as much work as possible on that level, and we have in the past, and that's where Johnny A is really important for us as well, because he's been involved in the NPL for a long period, and he will be the one that will actually tell me what's about, and he'll have his scouts out there that will help us, and we're always looking, because with the salary cap, you have to be aware of what's out there and how you can fit them into your salary cap, and so yeah, you'll probably see me at a few games, hopefully more of our team, because I'd like to see our young players play as often as possible.
Sure. Well, the FFA Cup, of course, is taking on a completely different hue with the Channel 10 commitment and involvement in the game. That's going to be very exciting too, John. It's no longer a midweek competition. It's going to be weekends, and they've committed now to broadcasting it in a fashion that really hasn't been seen before. So that augurs well. And you've also, if you win the FFA Cup, you've got access to Asia as well, which was never on the cards before. So very different tournament.
Yeah, different tournament. It's exciting. The tournament. It's exciting. It's been exciting anyway because of able to play the NPL clubs and some old National League clubs that that we remember, but a lot of the younger generation don't remember. So I know Adelaide City is still in there. One of my old clubs. Their 75th anniversary this year. I was supposed to be going there on July 31st, but that's been postponed to celebrate. It would have been good to catch up with so many ex-teammates, players that I looked up to growing up. One of my ex-coaches in Zoran Matic, who I haven't seen for years. But, that's the beauty of the FFA Cup as well. So, look, I think Channel 10 and Paramount Plus will do an amazing job. I think that it's great that they've jumped on board. The APL have really been working hard and getting this right, this television deal right. You can already see 10 start to promote it, a lot with the interviews with people, players on the project. Channel 10 News, they run with a lot of football stuff, and so I think you'll see a lot of players show their personality and get out there into the mainstream media and world, and once that happens, then kids will start to see, I want to be like him or her. And so that's exciting to have that. And, that they haven't only got the A-League, they've got the W League, they've got Matildas, Socceroos, and I think you said NPL stuff as well. So, that's exciting times for the game.
Before we let you go and get to your pizza order, which is very important, I just want to know, you mentioned excitement, you mentioned characters. Are you a Ted head? Are you a Ted Lasso fan?
Yes. Yeah.
Bravissimo.
Yeah, I am. The season 2's coming out.
Yes,
tomorrow. The new season. Yeah. So
tomorrow.
I'm excited about that. Look, I haven't watched much television since I've been in here, but I will watch a little bit of Ted Lasso. It's it's funny. Plus, it's a little bit of obviously there's a little bit of watching Crystal Palace, because that's Crystal Palace training ground, and seeing the who pops up or what happens. But it's a funny show.
It is, and you know what? It talks about character in a different way, which is also important for everyone to absorb. John, it's been a thrill for us to have you. Thank you so very much for taking the time. Good luck with whatever you do, and understand one thing. FNR is with you all the way, whatever you need. And we're looking forward to the club bringing back a second season of the Green Room. Isn't that right, Josh?
Absolutely. Can't wait for that. Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't heard of the Green Room. This is the first time I've heard of it.
Give him a glimpse before just a little synopsis of the show and a couple of the characters that made an impact last year.
Oh, well, we had some great in-studio interviews with some of the players, sort of, I guess, showcasing their off-field side, their personalities, getting to know them a little bit more, and we actually had the opportunity.
Knew every goal he's ever scored.
that was great.
They gave him the goals, and he told them before we showed the goals. He said, "Left corner, top corner, off the goalkeeper, headed it, I kicked it."
That's a pure striker. They're always remembering their goals.
Every goal he remembered that, John. Did he miss, Josh?
I think there was one really weird one where he fell over and it scrambled in, and he just laughed.
He probably remembered that, but didn't want to tell you that he fell over and it scrambled in.
That's it. But we were playing games like that with all the players, and we also had the opportunity to go out and visit some of their favourite Melbourne spots with them. We had a bowl of ramen with your gun Japanese centre half, Tomoki Imai, whose English is really coming along. And he had a friend there helping him, and it was great. We had a catch up with Kane Shepherd. There was a few other players we went out and about with. I'm not sure Ike is there terrific anymore, but we got coffee with Ike Gorachana. So I'm looking forward to the more of the road trips.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Green Room then. I want to see a little bit more about my players. You probably open them up more than I will.
Well,
I can't wait to have you in the studio properly instead of over a Zoom call.
On you, John, and enjoy the last days of the quarantine, and enjoy your pizza. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
How good's that? John Aloisi, the new coach for Western United, and as you can see, committed, ready, focused, understands full well that you never stop learning in this game. You never stop learning in life. And he's got a job to do. He's got some tremendous people behind him. And, I think it's going to be one very exciting new season of A-League football and a tremendous young team. And Josh, I can only imagine the first game at their new stadium. Can you imagine rolling that team out with that full audience wrapped around that very tight confines of what should be a boutique facility that will make them, that'll be a difference maker, I think.
Yeah, well, we know John isn't involved in stadium development, so we didn't pepper him with questions about it. But see you later, John.
Next time.
Yeah, when we have someone on the business side or the logistics side of the club on, which I'm sure we will ask all the pressing questions that everybody undoubtedly has of where's the stadium, who's building the stadium, because it. Believe it or not, George, it's actually a very complicated process.
Yeah. No, I understand. And the interesting thing is it's played into the narrative of some of the naysayers. You follow? So that's why I wanted to move on. And once this thing starts to gather some momentum, it will be truly exciting. And I yearn for the day when you and I can say, hey, mate, I got a couple of tickets. Let's go down and have a look. And it will be something. Those grounds, the confines and the fit, the way they want this ground to suit them will make them, it'll be like an amphitheater and it'll be a fortress. Yeah. Especially if they've got a good young side full of speed. Can you imagine? Speed kills.
Absolutely. I mean, boutique venues make all the difference, as John's old club Brisbane has found out last season at Dolphin. I mean, a little bit difficult to get to if you talk to the fans from I can't remember Brisbane geography, but once you're there, it is a marvelous atmosphere, and it sells the game to such a wider audience. You really feel the difference on TV and certainly in person.
You're absolutely right. Even though TV doesn't have smell-o-vision and all that sort of stuff, you can feel it. The buzz, the bustle, you do feel it. You do sense it at the ground. That's a tremendous thing. Speaking of fortune, let's take a break because when we come back, we've got another special guest, haven't we?
Absolutely, we do. A South Melbourne legend, an NSL midfielder of some repute, someone who's involved in Western United now, but I think his heart still yearns for the great southern land of Tasmania, George.
I think you're absolutely right. In fact, we're talking about David Clarkson, and he'll be with us right after this break.
Buying your electricity from the big energy companies is now the most expensive way to power your home. In fact, the average electricity bill in Australia has more than doubled in the last 15 years, but not for the ones who went solar. Unlike your electricity bill, the price of solar has actually come down, and there's also government rebates available. So what are you waiting for? Join the 2 million households already saving hundreds of dollars every year. See how much your roof could be making you at solarpowerco.com.au. Go solar and get $500 cash back with the Solar Power Co, Australia's most trusted solar brand. solarpowerco.com.au.
Since 1998, Lanco Group has been providing superior civil engineering solutions and advice to developers, local government and service authorities across Australia. Lanco Group is known for delivering sustainable, efficient solutions. By working closely with clients, Lanco Group is able to meet the complex infrastructure requirements for residential, commercial and industrial developments on time, on budget. Find out more at lancogroup.com.au. Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions.
Are you looking to change your destiny in life? Be your own boss? Start your own business? If you are, you need people who understand your needs and are committed to helping you make it happen. At DKP & Co Chartered Accountants, we are more than just accountants. We are business advisors, taxation consultants, and strategists that specialise in setting up businesses. We understand the client and give them the very best customised advice and strategies to achieve their goals. Visit our website dkpco.com.au or give us a call today on 03 9023 9370. Fast, proactive, personal. That's DKP & Co Chartered Accountants.
Buying your electricity from the big energy companies is now the most expensive way to power your home. In fact, the average electricity bill in Australia has more than doubled in the last 15 years, but not for the ones who went solar. Unlike your electricity bill, the price of solar has actually come down, and there's also government rebates available. So what are you waiting for? Join the 2 million households already saving hundreds of dollars every year. See how much your roof could be making you at solarpowerco.com.au. Go solar and get $500 cash back with the Solar Power Co, Australia's most trusted solar brand. solarpowerco.com.au.
Since 1998, Lanco Group has been providing superior civil engineering solutions and advice to developers, local government and service authorities across Australia. Lanco Group is known for delivering sustainable, efficient solutions. By working closely with clients, Lanco Group is able to meet the complex infrastructure requirements for residential, commercial and industrial developments on time, on budget. Find out more at lancogroup.com.au. Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions.
Are you looking to change your destiny in life? Be your own boss? Start your own business? If you are, you need people who understand your needs and are committed to helping you make it happen. At DKP & Co Chartered Accountants, we are more than just accountants. We are business advisors, taxation consultants, and strategists that specialise in setting up businesses. We understand the client and give them the very best customised advice and strategies to achieve their goals. Visit our website dkpco.com.au or give us a call today on 03 9023 9370. Fast, proactive, personal. That's DKP & Co Chartered Accountants.
You're listening to the State of Our Football Nation on FNR.
Here we go. Josh Parrish, George Danikian in the chair, and it's State of Our Football Nation on FNR, as you may have gathered with all that paraphernalia behind Josh. But welcome to another guest. And in lockdown, of course, he understands the commitment and the focus you require to be a success. And Josh, guess what our guest has done? David Clarkson is our guest, by the way, but he understands that not only do you have to be a well-rounded person, you have to have a career that gives you an opportunity to grow as a human being, but you have to be gifted. And he's found himself a guitar. He's found himself a guitar. Look at this. He's got a guitar. Pull the guitar up, David Clarkson. Give us the guitar.
Look, I even have my Beatles. We're just talking about living in the past.
Oh, no, there's no living in the past. Bring the guitar on. Look.
So look at this. First of all, Josh, and all of your listeners,
This is beautiful.
I'm going to apologize off the bat for my guitar playing.
Yes.
And my singing.
Go for it.
Everything else is perfect. And I've got a few in my repertoire now, but I thought, what song would sum up? Not that this song is to you, George, as much as I do love you, but you're a crooner, right?
Mate, you've saved my life. I mean, you literally saved my life.
About that. We're going to talk about that. Man. I won't do the whole thing. I'll just do a little.
Just do a little.
I wasn't expecting this.
Josh is over the moon here.
If you know it, sing along. Wise men say only fools rush in. I can't help falling in love with George Danikian.
Josh Parrish. Josh, congratulations, by the way. Josh Parrish also does a show which sings little vignettes and little meme songs, and not all of them talk about loving George Danikian. Is that right, Josh?
Very few of them, George, because it's a Melbourne Knights program. So, Fewer still talk about loving South Melbourne, but no, they're known for their parody tunes. We also had a song on the Preston show. So
before we go to any of this, you know, he's such a fantastic man of football and a fantastic man, but he would not be here with us today. And George, I am not pumping my tyres.
No, you're not.
For me. Let me give you a quick overview of what happened. George invited me to a Melbourne City function where he was the MC. We're sitting on the table. There was a bit of a break. No. It was before we went and sat down and before he had to start doing his thing. And the people were bringing some food around, and being a good Greek boy that he is, they brought the lamb skewers, right, George?
Yeah, this is true.
Interrupt if I'm lying, because I'm not lying. No. He bought the lamb skewers. George was obviously hungry because he got that lamb, you know, the thing, and just made all that meat go in his mouth.
Yeah.
I was introducing him to George, to another guy. All of a sudden,
he goes white.
George is not white. You turn blue. And you know, not that I've looked in the face of someone that's dying before, but that look of absolute fear. George was choking on this lamb that he hadn't chewed. It had just gone straight down his, whatever that is. So I grabbed him. I did this. I whacked his back.
Heimlich maneuver.
I did the Heimlich maneuver.
Yeah.
And George, I was telling my partner today, Maricel, I said, we went to Craig Foster's book launch that you were MC of, and I hadn't met your wife, and she hugged me and she goes, "Thank you for saving George."
Saving my life. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Look,
there you go.
Look, it's absolutely, every word he's uttered is absolutely true. Not only did we go ahead and play and had a great day, but I also MC'd the function without a problem. But he saved my life. He certainly did. And I now eat very slowly and with a great
deal. Did your mother tell you, George, chew
yes.
100 times or something?
Yes. The things you learn in life. Speaking of learning in life, David Clarkson, your new coach at Western United tells me that he knows very well that you're a part of the club. He's looking forward to getting out of bloody quarantine. He's just ordered himself a pizza, and he's going to be watching the Ollie Roos, which includes some of the young boys from Western United, and he's going to be watching some of the other youngsters really put their hands up to take on Argentina, which suggests there's a long night ahead. But quite seriously, he's very, very much looking forward to it. And he's also thrilled to bits that he's got he's got a crop of people at the club now who are quality people who have been on a fantastic football journey all their lives. And I reflected to Josh earlier, just what a career you have had from your early days in Tassie boy, of course. Rapid, I think was Rapid the first club, then Hobart Juventus, and then the Institute of Sport in Canberra, and then Brighton Hove Albion overseas.
Wow, you know,
the Seagulls. You didn't muck around.
No, look, I think, well, first going back to John and Western United, look, my role with Western United is it links very much in with my past, George and Josh, because, yeah, I grew up in Tasmania, and the opportunities for young footballers at that time it was tough, you know, it was really tough. And that stretch of water that they called, you know, from Tasmania to the mainland, whilst it's only an hour flight, it's like, it's forever. And, you know,
mate, it's the most ferocious water.
I know. Have you ever been on the Spirit of Tasmania, George? No, I don't think I'm.
No, but I've flown light aircraft over Bass Strait, and I've also done it in a helicopter. And I can tell you, my friend, it ain't easy. It ain't easy.
Well, you know, and that's why that trip across from Tasmania to the mainland is not an easy trip for
anybody.
Young footballers who want to create a journey, because as we know, guys, there's no A-League team in Tasmania. So they then have to pursue their journey like I did as a young boy. And I was fortunate enough to go to the AIS as a 15-year-old.
Wow.
And then, yeah, you know, and then I went on to carve a half decent career. Could it have been better? Yes, with decisions I made, for sure. But what my role with Western United is very much creating a sustainable, achievable pathway for these young players. male and female, to come into
Fantastic.
our system. We identify them, we look after them, we understand the challenges of moving away from home. In the long term, or whether that's short, medium term, I don't know. But Tasmania, in my opinion, and I tried to get an A-League team for the state in 2016, and we had a really good bid, deserves its own A-League team.
Look, we should explain, your journey didn't just end there. You had your time at Brighton Hove Albion when they were the Seagulls, and they still are, and they're a Premier League outfit at the moment, which is just marvellous. And there are a lot of fans who have had some Socceroos play for the Seagulls. What excites me no end is that your journey carried you not only across to Britain, but you played in Asia, you played in China, you played in, was it Hong Kong or Tsingtao? You came back to Adelaide. You went to Adelaide. I should be asking, who haven't you played for?
Well, because I don't want to be I don't want to sound like a journeyman, but
no,
I'm
not playing this as a journeyman. I want people to understand that the pathway that you're going to offer these youngsters, male and female, is unique because you've been on everyone at Good Health. You've been to all of those spots, and you understand how difficult it is trying to fit in to a dressing room, to a city, to a town, to a state, the whole box and dice. When left to right means right to left. You know what I mean?
No, but going back to
language,
Adelaide City days and talking about John Aloisi, that was one of my. So I was at the AIS. Then I played for Brisbane Lions in 1988.
Yes, Brisbane Lions.
Yeah, the year of the Expo. I remember it well.
Wow.
Out at Richlands there. But then I went to Adelaide City. Now, that team, guys, was just ridiculous. And they had one of the most, at that time, and I still think over the generation of Australian football, one of the leaders of the game in Zoran Matic. He was before his time.
Yep, true.
And John Aloisi was a young boy then. I didn't know John, but I met John at a function a couple of years ago, and he said, I remember, because he was Charlie Villani, Sergio Melter, Aurelio Vidmar, Tony Vidmar. It was just Stevie Maxwell,
yep,
Paul Schillerbeer, Robbie
Mullins,
Zabika. It was, that I played 3 games for Adelaide City. Zoran did not like me one bit. Zoran, no, that's the truth. Not as a person, because he had a specific way.
Yes.
That when you switch the ball from right to left, it had to spin with a certain trajectory that he called the parabola.
That's right.
Now,
that's right. If you couldn't do it, couldn't deliver, it was a short journey.
I wanted to get the ball over there as quickly as could, so I just hit it with a bit of the underspin. Nah. So he broke the game down beautifully. My point is that was a wonderful apprenticeship, whilst I didn't play a lot. And what I tried to do with my career is just keep adding the levels. And when I played for George Cross with Ernie Merrick, we had a wonderful young team: Paul Foster, Craig Foster, Damien Murray. That was a top team. So the teams that I've been involved with, whilst I haven't always had success with them, within those teams, there's a lot of individuals that have gone on to have success. My most successful time, and George, you know this, was obviously the Postecoglou era at South Melbourne. Was incredible.
Talk to us, because he started a new journey for himself at Celtic. What are your thoughts?
I think Ange, I listened to a press conference the other day, and he said he doesn't have a certain plan in his mind, but the guy's a winner. You talk about, and John spoke about this before, about reinventing yourself like Mancini has done. Well, Ange has reinvented himself. And if you have success, then you have opportunity.
Correct.
And with this opportunity, look, if it doesn't work, it won't be because Ange hasn't left any stone unturned, that's for sure. And wherever he's gone, and not under the most ideal circumstances, he hasn't had the red carpet laid out for him. He's had to grind,
Absolutely.
And one of your old teammates has ended up at the City Group in Yokohama. Young
Kevin?
Musket.
Well, I never actually played with Kevin.
You played against him plenty of times.
He was before me. No, I was before him at Sunshine, and then I was after him at South Melbourne. But look, again, the more of the Kevin Muskets and John Aloisis and Ange Postecoglou's and Tony Popovic we have doing their thing, the more the game is respected. And guys, we know that golden generation of 2006 has come and gone. We're having to rebuild. And that's why last night to see the Matildas, the way they played against New Zealand was incredible. And tonight, let's hope. I mean, what a challenge for Graham Arnold and his squad. My goodness.
Exciting stuff. Josh?
I just wanted to touch on Postecoglou because I did get up and watch his first match, which was on Stan the other day. And it was amazing because we've seen so much negativity from Celtic fans who don't know who he is and thinking, who the hell is this random Australian bloke that,
can't pronounce his name. Can't pronounce his name.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they have very little faith in the people making the decision to appoint him, and therefore I think, given that his reputation did not precede him in the same way Eddie Howe's did when they were linked with him, they were very, very negative. But it took Ange about 45 minutes of actual football to completely flip the script, and now it's Ange is a genius, and the board isn't backing him. He doesn't have the players to play the beautiful style that he no doubt wants to, and I just think that's an incredible testament to Ange and his principles that he's been able to instill this within, a month of arriving.
Yeah, great point, Josh. And that is with Ange. I think in the past he might have taken a job because he wanted to be working in football. But you've got to remember, going back to Ange's journey, George, when he was in Greece at was it Kalamata, that third division club,
Yep.
Came back to Australia, he was working for, Football Federation Victoria at the time.
Yep.
Got the job at Brisbane Roar. And if you remember, he went in there and he had to get rid of some big names or big personalities.
Yep.
I think that was the defining moment for Ange Postecoglou. He was going to, that moment on, he was going to do it his way.
Yeah, and if he was going to fail, I think he said, if I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail on my terms. Yes?
Absolutely. But you can say that, but not be able to back it up. Where Ange say it, and he believes in his philosophy on football. And George, we spoke about it earlier today. He believes in the people he's got around him, which is fundamentally important.
Correct. And that's the same thing with Johnny A. We talked to him about all the backroom boys.
Yeah.
He's brought Hayden Fox.
Yeah, great.
We asked him whether he knew whether he got Clarkson involved, and he goes, "Yes, I know. He's our conduit. He'll be preparing the way for the youngsters." So he's aware, and he's very excited. Look, you should be excited too, my boy. We think you're a tremendous football person. We think you're a lifesaver, actually. And I had no idea that you're a singer. But Josh now is astonished, and we're going to try and find a way to get you to play some of these little playoffs so we can record them for FNR. They can become part of our state of our football nation.
You want more listeners, not less.
I wanted to return to Tassie and talk about Western United's, I think, somewhat refreshing public relations approach there. We were lucky enough to make the trip down to Tassie to watch Western United play and see the way they were going about their business. Myself, Ed and Lockie from FNR went down for the Green Room to do some special episodes and special videos from Tassie when they were there. It was great, and on the front page of the Hobart Mercury, is it, was...
Oh, no, I reckon you would have been on the...
Or was it the Launceston something or other?
Yeah, the Examiner in Launceston.
The Examiner. It would have been the Examiner.
Rob Shaw's the football reporter there. You might have got some stuff with him.
Anyway, on the front page of the newspaper was... not come and see Western United, your pretend Tasmanian A-League team that's going to play 2 games a year here. It was, Tasmania deserves its own A-League team. We agree. We're just here in the meantime because we're building our stadium, and, why not come and watch us? I think it's a refreshing, honest approach to the whole bridging that long gap that we were talking about, the dreaded waters of the Bass Strait.
To be fair to Mark Rudin, every time he sat at a press conference speaking about, we're not here to say we're the team, we're Tasmania's team. We want to help Tasmania get their own A-League team, and the club and Chris Galavanis, they were all about, yes, if we can help, then that's got to be good for the game. Look, from my point of view, the state, when I grew up in Tassie, there wasn't a McDonald's. Now you pay $5 for a coffee, George. The state is ready for an A-League team, believe me.
Oh, I can get my coffee for $4.80. Thank you very much.
I used to get mine at downstairs here in Collins Street for $3.80, and they closed down. That's probably why.
That's probably right. David Clarkson, we need to do this on a more regular basis. Promise me we're going to do it.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure,
right.
George. Always a
pleasure. Josh normally does all the controls for us, and he's been fantastic as a co-anchor since we've been doing it this year. And he loves the green room, loves the contribution and the support that the club's provided. And he and I and the whole FNR team cannot wait for season 2 of the green room to come back to FNR.
Come on.
One last one, David. Something I've noticed, a phenomenon. Is it true that every Tasmanian footballer playing outside of Tasmania has some sort of radar in which they can locate each other? I think it's a sixth sense. They all know each other. It's amazing. In the post-grand final celebrations with Nathaniel Atkinson, of course, one of Tasmania's proudest, most recent footballing exports, we had a player from Avondale, who I think is fantastic talent, by the way. He's a central midfielder over there. He's from Tassie as well. Nathaniel Atkinson spotted him in the crowd in the celebrations and tried to get him on the pitch with the team, but the security wouldn't let him on. It's just incredible. There's some sort of unspoken bond between all of you.
It's radar.
Well, there's a rumour going about it with Tasmanians, and we have I've got the scar there from the
Yeah, all right.
We're in tune. We're definitely in tune.
David Clarkson. There's only one David Clarkson. We love him, and we want him back on the show ASAP. Thank you for joining us, David. Appreciate it.
Well done, guys. All the best.
Boys.
Take care.
There you go, Josh. It's all yours.
All right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up, George. We've got Ollie Roos to look forward to tonight, and I'm tempted to go order a pork and fennel sausage pizza, just like John Aloisi is. He's made me hungry. So we better tie it off.
No Hawaiian.
No pineapple. Definitely not.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, David.
Thank you, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.
You're listening to the State of Our Football Nation on FNR.